And, of course, Sunday being Church of the Week, we are celebrating with the good folks of the Village Christian Church. That's in Minooka, Illinois, and Pastor Nate Ferguson. So congratulations to them. Had a chance to sit down with Pastor Nate recently. Wanted him to introduce himself and his church, tell you a little bit about it, and what he likes best about the Village Christian Church in Minooka. Here's what he had to say.
My name is Nate Ferguson. I'm the pastor. I'm one of the pastors at the Village Christian Church. We're at 8965 South Bell Road in Minooka. Just right off of the Route 6 interchange. So our services are Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and then Sunday 8:30, 9:30, and 11 o'clock a.m. And online on YouTube if you want to check that out as well. I love it that we've been able to stay focused on our mission from day one. We were a church plant. Our goal was to reach people that didn't have a church home or maybe were searching. And from day one until now, 15 plus years later, we've stayed true to that call, and God has blessed it in so many remarkable ways.
That's Pastor Nate Ferguson from the Village Christian Church in Minooka, Illinois. Keep listening this morning for more of our conversation with Pastor Ferguson, or you can get more info about our Church of the Week on our website, which is just like our name, shine.fm.
And so glad to have you listening in this morning, perhaps as you're on your way to church. If you don't have a place of worship, we encourage you to find one that you enjoy. And that's why we do Church of the Week. Every Sunday, we're highlighting a church, most Sundays, rather, throughout the year. And this week, we're highlighting the Village Christian Church. It's in Minooka, Illinois. Pastor Nate Ferguson there. Had a chance to sit down with Pastor Nate. We talked about the church and why the church is different.
I would say we're different from the fact that we openly are transparent. Well, I don't have it all together, and most of us, if we were really honest, don't have it all together. And so we're just honest about it. We're just, hey, we're trying to figure it out, and we just want to literally meet people where they're at and say, hey, this is where you're at, but let's try to get where God wants us to go. And so we really try to be honest and transparent, and I think that might be a little different than some experiences. It's life change, life growth, life purpose. The life changes, we look up. We've got arrows that kind of represent this. The up arrow, we're looking for God to change us from the inside out. We can't figure it out ourselves. But once He does that, or as He's in process of doing that, we have a sideways arrow, which is where we're growing in community. We're not just staying, spiritually infant or even toddler. We want to take next steps and really grow. And then our down arrow is a life purpose. And so we want to serve. That's what we're called to do. We don't want to just receive and grow and not help others. And so we have a high value on serving. Last year alone, we had over 1,200 people serving outside the walls of the church. So we really believe in that. Our goal this year is 1,500, which is more people than we have attending right now. So that means you have to invite your friend to come along and serve with you.
That's Pastor Nate Ferguson from the Village Christian Church in Minooka, Illinois. Keep listening this morning for more of our conversation with Pastor Ferguson, or you can get more info about this week's Church of the Week on our website, which is just like our name, shine.fm.
And Sunday means it is the Church of the Week, of course, and we're celebrating with the good folks over in Minooka, Illinois. It's the Village Christian Church, and we learned by talking with their pastor, Pastor Nate Ferguson, that they are a church that reaches out to the community. Here's what he had to say.
There's a couple of ones. This community has a lot of younger families. We can really serve the community by serving the family, and that's pretty critical. And so we always do an egg hunt, an outreach event with that. It's free to the community. Thousands, I think it was 10,000 eggs or something last year, and so more than 1,000 people attending. It's just so nice to be able to just get to meet people in those kinds of environments. We also do a big thing in the fall. We call it our Fall Festival, and it's kind of a trunk or treat / hayrack ride / pony ride, kind of it's just for the community. It's like, come on in, let's get to know each other, let's hang out. Those would be outreach events. There's other things that we do that I think are more like just kind of felt need kinds of things. We do a big clothing giveaway. We have people donate gently used, really good stuff throughout the first 4 or 5 months of the year, and then we take time in the summer to organize all of those, and then in July we give it all away. So we just, we let everybody know in the community, you just come on in, you take 2 bags of really good clothes just ahead of school getting started, so that you don't have that expense. And just helps everybody get off to a good start to the school. So we do a thing every year after Easter. We have a series called Get Off Your Donkey, which is actually biblical, from the Good Samaritan story. The Samaritan got off his donkey and helped the person in need. So we take most of the time we take 3 specific weeks to just say, hey, what can we do? How can we get off our donkey locally, regionally, and globally? And we have partners that we try to support and encourage. They're already doing good work. Local stuff, we do a lot of food giveaways, clothing giveaways, some of that stuff. Regionally, we have a wonderful partner in the south side of Chicago, which is 39 miles from our location. It's in Roseland, which is it's a pretty tough community. There are some significant things there. We did a study. There was something like 800 and some odd violent crimes that occurred there, where in our community there was something like 20. So it's just but it's only 39 miles away. So we go up there and we try to help out a ministry called Good News Community Daycare. It's a gal who's been doing it for 25 years. She provides free daycare for single moms if they're working, so then they don't have to have that daycare expense, or if they're going to school, so they can get a degree to then be able to become independent. And there's a lot of ways we can help with that, and we try to just send people constantly to be able to serve, but also just to be an encouragement. These are wonderful people overcoming remarkable obstacles, and it's just so neat to see God work in and through that. And then we have a couple global partners. One is Destiny Rescue. They rescue girls out of human trafficking, and we're really connected with them and just helping them. They were over 1,000 girls rescued, but not only rescued, restored. We have a wonderful program of restoring girls once they're rescued, giving them the mental counseling, physical, different things that they need, spiritual counseling, but then creating opportunities for them to have jobs so they don't have to go back to that horrible situation. They can stand on their own 2 feet. We have another partner in Africa called Harper Africa. It's one of the most difficult places on planet Earth as far as the AIDS epidemic, and there's just people passing away all the time, and because of that, they have children that don't have parents. And so it's an orphanage. There's 260 children there right now. We're on our way to over 600, and so we're excited to be able to partner with them for the past almost decade, and now for the next decade in that regard.
That's Pastor Nate Ferguson from the Village Christian Church in Minooka, Illinois. Keep listening this morning for more of our conversation with Pastor Nate, or you can get more info about our Church of the Week on our website, shine.fm.
And, of course, Sunday is Church of the Week. And if you don't have a church home, we encourage you to find one. We think it's vitally important for you to worship together in community and grow alongside of each other, hold each other accountable as well. So this week we're celebrating with the Village Christian Church that's in Minooka, Illinois. Pastor Nate Ferguson we've been talking with this morning. We asked Pastor Nate recently, we talked about the outreach stuff last hour that they did, which is just a ton of stuff, both locally, regionally, and globally.
Yep.
Now about the in-reach. What's some opportunities to get involved in the church and to grow in your faith? Here's what Pastor Nate had to say.
Probably the biggest thing that kind of came to us over the last 5 or 6 years is we were reaching all these new people, and just it was great. New people. And then, okay, so what's the process to help a new person that's hungry and ready to grow to literally grow? And so we have a system called Rooted. It's a 10-week, really intense discipleship experience. So it's every day. You're taking a look at the scripture, you're evaluating that, you're journaling about that, you're praying about that. It's action-oriented. We've got several experiences along the way. And we just encourage everyone in our church to be a part of that. Hey, let's all get on the same page. Let's all make sure that we're set. It's kind of like boot camp for everybody. And we've had an unbelievable success. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have gone through this. And then out of that, we have a life group system that's really active. So then it's, meeting weekly or bi-weekly with people in your community, oftentimes similar stage of life, little bitty kids or teenage kids or seniors with no kids and so on. And so we just kind of use those situations to really help people grow in their faith.
That's Pastor Nate Ferguson from the Village Christian Church in Minooka, Illinois. Keep listening this morning for more of our conversation with Pastor Ferguson, or you can get more info about our Church of the Week on our website, which is just like our name, shine.fm.
Hey, it's Church of the Week Sunday. We're celebrating with the folks at the Village Christian Church that's in Minooka, Illinois. Pastor Nate Ferguson, we've been talking to him this morning, been sharing about his church and the people there and the community. Super excited about that. One of the last things we asked Pastor Nate was about the importance of Christian music in his life and the life of the people of his church, and here's what he had to say.
It means a lot. We have 1 hour a week with people. I should do the math, but there's over 200 more hours that people are, in the world. We're sending them out. And for each person, myself included, to be able to have an encouraging song to listen to on the way to work, where then we are all called to minister for the gospel. It's incredibly valuable. People hurt all the time. We find that, tragedy or struggle or pain does not occur at 8:30, 9:30, and 11 on Sunday or 6:30 on Thursday night. It occurs when it occurs. And so to have that kind of a resource, not only in your car via radio, but on the app or online, it's just so critical. And oftentimes, a lot of the songs that we are singing in worship are the songs that are being played. And so there's a connection back to that, whatever was going on that day. But I just think, when we're singing, there's something magical that happens. We're expressing our hearts to God, and God begins to change that. So there's a lot that is good when it comes to Christian music.
Man, I love that. There's 168 hours in the week. You're at church 1 hour.
Yeah.
Shine is on 168 hours. So we're there all the time. What power that pastor recognizes that. That is Pastor Nate Ferguson from the Village Christian Church in Minooka, Illinois. They are our Church of the Week this week. You can get more info about this Church of the Week or any of our previous Churches of the Week on our website, shine.fm.
WONU HD1, Kankakee, Chicagoland, WUON Morris, Shine.fm.
A ministry of Olivet Nazarene University. 89.7